John King, USA. CNN weeknights, 6 Eastern.
In New York this afternoon, the Occupy Wall Street protests spilled out of the financial district. The marchers targeted the posh homes on the city's Upper East Side, carrying signs and chanting slogans against corporate greed and social inequality. While today's demonstration in New York was larger than usual, a protest last night in Boston, more violent than usual. Police and demonstrators scuffled, resulting in 129 arrests, mostly for what a city spokesman calls, quote, unlawful assembly and trespassing. Some of those arrests, check this out, right in front of the TV cameras.
You are unlawfully assembled. I command you, in the name of the Commonwealth of the Massachusetts, to immediately and peacefully disperse.
States of America! We are veterans of the United States of America! We are veterans of the United States! Shame! Shame!
The whole world is watching! The whole world is watching!
That unruly scene last night, a topic of a conversation just a short time ago with the Boston Mayor, Thomas Menino. Mayor Menino, thank you for your time. Let me start with a very basic question. What do you think these protesters want?
I think they want somebody to listen to the message. There's a loud message out there. But my question, who is listening to their message? I mean, they talk about corporate greed, the equality. They talk about foreclosures, a lot of issues that middle America thinks about every day. But, you know, they're out there in about 100 cities in America. But who is listening to the message? I mean, mayors listen, but is Washington listening? I question, is Washington listening to the message that's being given out throughout America?
There was an incident last night. The police did have to get involved. Here's the statement from Occupy Boston. This reprehensible attack by the Boston Police Department against a movement that enjoys the broad support of the American people represents a sad and disturbing shift away from dialogue and toward violent repression. Is your city, Mr. Mayor, are you practicing violent repression?
No, we're not practicing violent repression at all. We gave them a designated area. We told them where they could stay, and they violated that agreement we had. They went down further on the Greenway, and we said we cannot have them go further down the Greenway for a lot of different reasons. And they said we're going to do whatever we want to do, and that's unfortunate because the group that I've been working with, my police department, over the last week and a half, has really had a spirit of cooperation, a spirit of dialogue, and all of a sudden, in the last 24 hours, we want to confront the Boston police. We want to have sit-ins. That's unfortunate because, you know, most of those folks I relate to, I've talked with some of them on the foreclosure issue, and we're going to continue to have that dialogue. And, you know, what happened last night is because they wouldn't work with us on this, and, you know, we had to do what we had to do to make sure that we protected public safety issues in our city.
And so where do you see this going in the sense that when we had Tea Party demonstrations across the country, they were generally one-day rallies, but they turned out to be a very potent force at the polls, at least in 2010. We'll see what happens in 2012. Do you see this as a comparable, some sort of a Tea Party of the left, or is this more demonstrations but not a political movement?
I think this is a movement of middle-class America being so frustrated that nobody's listening to their concerns. And that's what this is all about. I think it's born out of middle-class America, the frustration of no availability of financial aid for schools, the issue of, you know, when people get fired from the national corporations, they get $5 and $6 million severance pay. I mean, those are what they're getting frustrated at. And when people can't get a job and they see these severance pays of $5 and $6 million, they get very frustrated. And that's what this movement's coming out of, real frustration of working people in America. We got to understand that they're the backbone of our country, and we have to get behind them, and somebody has to listen to them. Mayors do, but I think other folks in government also have to listen to their frustrations.
Some of them are accusing you of leading a city that has a police department that they say use unnecessary force, and yet here you are complimenting their goals. When you say other people, does that include the President of the United States? Should he be more full-throated in his embrace of their goals?
I think the Congress has to be more embracing their goals. I mean, our congressional delegation stands by us on a lot of these issues, but you know, you look at the country, how divided it is. It's Democrat, Republican. This is not a Democrat-Republican issue. This is a people's issue. It's a middle-class issue. And, you know, the issue about my police department and brutality, we checked the films last night. We didn't see any brutality. Nobody got hurt in the demonstration last night. Yes, we did arrest a few because they would not move, and but that's a public safety issue, and that's my responsibility. I have to make sure the city works not for some of the people, but for all our people. And we have to bring into focus some of those issues that will make the city work. And when people say, well, we don't care what you want, police commissioner, we'll do whatever we want, that's in violation of our agreement. We have to enforce the rules and regulations of that area.
Mr. Mayor, thanks for your time tonight.
Thanks, John.